I'll never forget the way she was sitting at the kitchen table. 3:47 in the morning, lights off, absolute silence, and there she was, motionless, staring at nothing, with a smile that wasn't a smile. It was like someone who had never smiled in their life was trying to imitate a human smile. She turned her head slowly, very slowly, and said, "Hi, son, Mommy's back." But the voice wasn't coming from her mouth. It was coming from somewhere behind her, like there was another person in the dark, speaking for her. Let me tell you what happened, because to this day I don't know if that thing was my mother, or if my mother got lost on that road, and what came back wasn't her. I was 16. I lived with my mom, Dona Fatima, in a small town in Minas Gerais. My mother was the most predictable person in the world. Woke up at 6, made coffee, went to work, came back at 6, dinner, soap operas, sleep at 10. Every Tuesday, stroganoff. Every Thursday, laundry. Her life was a clock. I loved that. My father died when I was little, and her routine was the only thing that made me feel safe. On March 14th, a Thursday, she left to visit my grandmother in the next town. A 40-minute drive on a dirt road. She kissed my forehead and said, "I'll be back before dinner, son. I love you." The smell of her lavender perfume lingered. To this day, I can't smell lavender without trembling. She didn't come back. By midnight, I called the police. They found her car on the shoulder, 15 minutes from home, driver's door open, keys in the ignition, phone on the seat. No sign of a struggle. Just gone. For 72 hours, I didn't sleep. I kept repeating, "She'll come back." She never broke a promise. Monday, 11:47 p.m., I heard the key turn in the front door. I ran, and it was her, my mother, standing on the porch, wearing the same clothes, clean, no injuries, intact, as if she had just stepped out. "Mom, oh my God, Mom!" I hugged her, and that's when I felt it. She was cold, not air conditioning cold, cold like something that isn't alive. Her hand, running over my head, was stiff like wax, but I ignored it. I had to. My mother was back. The first night, I woke at 3:33 a.m. I found her in the kitchen, standing in front of the open fridge. She had her face buried inside a container of stroganoff, sniffing, not like a person smells, like an animal scenting. "Mom?" She closed the fridge slowly, turned to me and smiled. "I was hungry, son. Go back to bed." Over the next days, details gnawed at me. During a 40-minute breakfast, she didn't blink once. Her eyes were glassy, dry. When I mentioned it, she laughed and blinked once, so slowly, like she was remembering how. I told myself it was trauma, dissociation. My aunt packed her bags and left that afternoon. I wanted to run too, but that was my mother, wasn't it? The third night, I woke up to someone breathing in my ear. Cold breath, smelling of wet earth, and a voice humming her old lullaby, but backwards. I opened my eyes. She was leaning over me, face inches from mine, smiling. "Mommy just wants to play." I screamed. When the light came on, for a split second, her eyes were black, completely black, then brown, human. I didn't sleep after that. On the fourth night, I hid my phone to record. At 3:33 a.m., the door opened. In the footage, she didn't walk. She crawled in on all fours, head turned at an angle a human neck shouldn't reach, arms too long, fingers curved like claws, and she climbed the wall like a spider and clung to the ceiling above my bed, looking down with black eyes. Then her mouth didn't move, but a voice filled the room. "I'm not your mother. Your mother is still on the road, crying, alone, in the dark." I ran. She grabbed my arm with inhuman strength, opened her mouth far too wide, and inside was only a living darkness. She can still be saved if you take her place. The neighbors called the police. The house was empty, just the smell of lavender, and on the kitchen floor, written in ash, 72 hours. My mother was never found. It's been 8 years. I live alone now. Every night, I look at the ceiling before turning off the light, and sometimes, after 3 in the morning, I still hear that lullaby, backwards, coming from outside. The thing said Chez, still on the road, crying in the dark. Is she still waiting? I haven't had the courage to go back, but sometimes I think, what if she came to find me first? But mothers aren't the only ones who come back wrong. Sometimes it's the little ones, and sometimes they don't leave your house. I have an audio file on my phone I've never shown anyone. 47 seconds. My brother sleeping. But what comes out of his mouth isn't human. His name is Lucas. He was 9, I was 19. Our parents traveled for 2 weeks, and I was left in charge. Lucas was a quiet, smart kid. Legos, cartoons, early bedtimes. His room was next to mine, walls so thin I could hear him turn over. The first week, peaceful silence. The second week, he started talking in his sleep. Normal, I thought. Kids dream. But one night at 2 in the morning, I pressed my ear to his door. He was speaking perfect English, with a British accent. My brother didn't speak English. He was in 3rd grade. I opened the door. He was on his back, eyes closed, lips forming words clearly. I caught phrases. The gate is open. They're waiting. Don't keep them waiting. I convinced myself it was from a movie. The next night, he didn't speak English. He spoke something guttural, ancient, sounds from deep in the chest, like his mouth was just a channel. That's when I recorded it. 47 seconds. 2 voices overlapping, one high, one low, speaking at impossible speed. And at the end, he laughed. But it wasn't his laugh. It was the laugh of an old man. I showed a friend. He went pale. That's edited, right? It was wanted. The last night, I set up a webcam. At 3:33 a.m. Why is it always 3:33? He sat up, eyes closed. He spoke Portuguese, but not his voice, an adult man's voice. Calmly, he said, Lucas is not here right now. Leave your message after the tone. And then he made a beep sound, exactly like an answering machine, and lay back down. In the morning, I asked if he remembered anything. Lucas tilted his head and said, I don't talk at night. It's not me. It's the man who lives in the mirror. He borrows my mouth. I ran to his room. I looked in the mirror. My reflection was there, normal, but behind me, in the reflection, was a figure, a tall, impossibly thin man in a black suit. No face, just a smooth, elongated shadow, motionless, staring. I spun around. Nothing there. Turned back. The mirror showed only an empty wall, but Lucas was in the doorway, smiling. You saw him, didn't you? He likes you. He said you'll go to sleep soon. I never slept in that house again. I took Lucas to a cousin's. My parents called me crazy, but Lucas still talks in his sleep, even now at 15. Always the same voice, the same language, the same laugh. I've moved 3 times since. In every place, I cover the mirrors at night, because mirrors don't just show what's in front of you, they show what's waiting. And the man in the black suit is still there, waiting with a message for me. Sometimes the person who comes back different isn't a stranger. Sometimes it's someone you love, someone you brought into your home. And sometimes it takes a dying mind to see the truth. My grandmother had Alzheimer's, 3 years diagnosed. Some days she didn't remember her own name, but at the Christmas dinner, she was miraculously lucid, laughing, calling everyone by name, crying with joy. Then she looked beside me at my boyfriend, Ricardo, who was holding my hand. She furrowed her brow and said, in the clearest voice I'd heard in years, Who is that man, my son? Why did you bring him into this house? Ricardo had visited for 6 months, Shed met him dozens of times. In that moment, she didn't forget. She saw something. 2 weeks after he moved in, I found her locked in the bathroom, screaming. The man in the black suit, he has no eyes. Ricardo was at work. No one was home. I calmed her, blamed hallucinations, but one night, I woke up and found Ricardo standing in her room, whispering in a language that sounded like radio static. She was cowering in terror. He turned, smiled normally. She had a nightmare. When he came back to bed, he didn't breathe. For 40 seconds, his chest didn't move. Then, like a switch, he started breathing again. At the Christmas party, she saw him sitting beside me, and her face dissolved into pure fear. That man is nobody. He has no face, just a blur, and he smells like something rotten. Can't you smell it? No one could. Ricardo stood up and walked out. I followed him into the dark hallway. Ricardo, wait, Chez confused. He turned. For a split second, the light flickered, and his face disappeared. It was a smooth, mannequin-like surface. No eyes, no mouth, just stretched skin. Then it returned. "I'm leaving," he said. "Your grandmother is right. I'm a borrowed memory from someone you loved. But that person doesn't exist anymore. She can see because her mind no longer follows the rules. She sees what is." He walked out the front door and never came back. His photos on my phone showed a different person, a stranger. My grandmother died 3 months later. In her last week, she held my hand and said, "Andre, when you look at someone, look in their eyes. If there is no one inside, run." To this day, I don't know what Ricardo was, but sometimes, when I'm almost asleep, I feel the mattress sink beside me. No one is there, just static. But of all the things that came back, the one that still keeps me awake is my father's voice. I called his number the day after his funeral. I just wanted to hear his voicemail message, to feel him close again. But the call was answered. "Hello." It was his voice. In the background, there was a noise, a muffled, rhythmic sound, like someone digging, earth being thrown. "Son, you there?" I hung up, and my phone rang back. His number on the screen, his photo flashing. The call lasted 47 seconds, and then a voicemail arrived. I've never listened to it. It's still on my old phone, in a drawer. 5 years. My father, Antonio, was a retired truck driver. Quiet, simple, died of a heart attack at 62. After the burial, I broke down alone in my apartment and dialed his number out of despair. When he answered, I froze. The voice was exactly the same, the tired smoker's breath, the intonation, behind his words, the sound of digging. "Son, you took me out of here." "Why?" "It's dark. Terrace, no air." I convinced myself it was grief, auditory hallucination. But he called again the next night, and the next. On the third day, he called at 3 in the afternoon. Sun shining. It was real. I answered. His voice was desperate, fast. "Son, help me. They put me in the wrong place. There are other people here. They don't speak. They just stare, waiting for someone to open. Dad, you're dead." Silence. Then a hollow, wet breath inside a tube. He said, "I know," but they didn't accept it. They said I need to bring someone to take my place, so I can rest. They showed me you. Who are they? Those who stay in the dark, those who have no name. I changed my number, my apartment, my city, but he called again on my new number. In the message he said, "Son, there is no point moving. They're already there. Look at the dark corner of your room." Now, I looked. In the corner where the lamplight didn't reach, there was a silhouette, tall, thin, no face, a darkness denser than normal darkness. I blinked. It disappeared. Blinked again. It was closer. My father's voice on the phone. "When you fall asleep, they'll take you, and ill rest." Finally, I didn't sleep for 3 days. When my body finally gave out, I dreamed I was in a tight, dark place, dirt all around. Beside me, my father, face decomposed, smiled with no lips. "Welcome, son. Now you stay here." And I go. I woke up screaming. My sheets were stained with mud, my fingernails caked with soil. On my bed lay a bouquet of dead flowers, the same ones Id put on his grave. I ran to the cemetery at 4 in the morning. His grave was disturbed, not dug out, dug in. On the headstone, a message in dirt: "Thanks for the visit." My father stopped calling after that. The voicemail on my old phone, the one I never heard, I finally got the courage to delete. I didn't listen. I couldn't. I moved to another country. Every night, before I sleep, I look at the dark corner of the room, and every night, the silhouette is there, waiting for me to fall asleep again, because next time, I won't wake up alone, and my father will finally rest. Those were my stories. Stories of family members who came back different, who were never the same again. An impossible phone call, a mother who crawled on the ceiling, a brother borrowed by a mirrored man, a boyfriend who once real. I know I'm not the only one. If you've ever experienced something like this, tell me in the comments. This community is the only place where we can talk about this without being called crazy. And please, subscribe, because there are other stories I still haven't had the courage to tell, about mirrors, about phones, about dark corners. But I will, soon. Until next time. And please, answer the phone carefully, because sometimes it's not who you expect on the other end.